7.
10-7, okay. But they're 3-3. They're one game back of Buffalo for first place in the division. And I think they're playing better than a lot of people thought they would be playing, Skip. And so he's like, I've done what you asked me to do. I'm 3-3. If you look at his last 3 games, he's played extremely well.
Yes.
And so he's like, I understand this is going to happen. And he probably thought, you know what? If I'm 1-5, if I'm 2-4, we getting ready to head into the bye week, yeah, they're probably going to make the switch. But at 3-3, and we're playing well. It's not like they're playing bad. They just pitched the shutout. They beat the brakes off 49ers, who just beat the brakes off of the Rams. And he's like, wow. So he knows it's going to come, Skip. And it's a shock. And he's like, oh, this is for the future, for the future. Skip, if I'm a vet on that team, what they got to do with me? You're talking about the future. I might not be here. I'm talking about right now. We got a chance to win this division right now. And I believe right now, Ryan Fitzpatrick give them the better chance. They're talking about future, future, future. What about right now? I don't know if I got a future here, but I got an opportunity to win right now. So I understand. I am not surprised by Ryan Fitzpatrick's reaction because he says, I played well enough to maintain this. Now, it might only be for another week or two, but I think I played well enough to hold this position. We understand, Skip. You take a guy with that high in the draft, and there's only one of you guys that can play, it's only a matter of time. But I think the shock that Ryan has is that I played well thus far. And this caught me totally off guard. I understand. I'm doing everything I can to get Tua ready, but nah, not when he's not playing better than me.
I got to tell you, I was shocked by his public reaction. Yeah. I get that it would be his private, but listen, Ryan Fitzpatrick has been around this league and around it and around it and around it again, so he knows how the game is played on and off the field. He
might have been in Cincinnati my last year in Denver. In 03, he's been in the league probably about 15, 16 years. Got to be, Skip.
37 years of age.
Okay.
Yep. He acknowledged that he knew he was a placeholder, that at some point they're going to go with the 5th overall pick.
Right.
But he went to the depths of, I was heartbroken by this. And he even went into the detail of, I got fired by a man that I then had to participate in a Zoom call with, the head coach, obviously. And then he said, I was locked in a spaced out quarterback room with my replacement for the next 4 hours. So he's saying, they fired me from my job effectively, and I had to wonder, is this it for me? Is this the end of my line in the NFL? Could be. And then I had to participate in a Zoom call with the guy who fired me and go get locked in the quarterback room with Tua, and he loves the kid. He's a great kid. But still, he got fired and replaced by that guy.
Yes, it happens like on the real job. Okay, we're going to demote you, and the guy that's going to replace you, we want you to train him. That's what happened. Whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, I ain't gonna. But to Ryan Fitzpatrick credit, I mean, he understood that this was the case. But like I said, Skip is hard.
Okay, but usually when you know you're the placeholder, when you do finally get demoted and replaced, you just swallow it because it was inevitable. Well, listen, he threw this team and this coaching staff and everybody, including Tua, under his bus. Because this will not make it any easier on this kid to go play. They got a bye week, but to go play their next game. And it will make it hard on that locker room because you said yesterday the locker room's not going to love this.
No.
So it will make it even more divisive in the locker room because they're all going to be looking side-eyed at coaches like, well, what are you guys doing? You crushed this man's soul.
All I know, think about what happened in Kansas City about 3 or 4 years ago. There was a guy that they traded a king's ransom, move up to the 10 spot. He sat on the bench the entire year except the last game. Worked out okay, huh? Tom Brady sat on the bench the entire first season, was sitting on the bench going into his second season. And then, boom, voila.
Okay, but Drew Bledsoe got hurt.
That's what I'm saying, yes. That's what I'm saying. He was sitting on the bench until Drew got hurt. But it was okay. It's okay. If Tua doesn't play the first year, it's okay. I mean, Patrick Mahomes didn't play. And nobody said, man, that really ruined. Actually, he believed that it helped him.
Okay. So you know why I believe this move shockingly was made? Because you were caught off guard just as Ryan Fitzpatrick was. You know why? He was playing too well. He was playing at such a high level that I believe it went all the way up to the owner And they're like, oh, my God, what if we win the division with him? What if he turns into Fitzmagic the rest of the year? What if, God forbid, we win a playoff game, a home playoff game? Well, then how do we go to Tua next year?
Right.
Like at some point, he's going to derail their near future plan, because obviously at some point this year they wanted the kid to take over.
Well, I think then that's okay, because if you look at it, Skip, look what Alex Smith, how well he played. And remember, they ended up losing, what, 45-44 to Indy that year.
They did.
He played well enough to keep the job, but Andy's like, I've seen enough. In order for us to get to ultimately where we need to be, I drafted this kid. I traded up this capital to get him at the 10th slot. So, Tua, you take a guy in the fifth with the 5th pick, Skip, you know he's going to play. But if the guy's playing that way, Skip, if Ryan Fitzpatrick had been Ryan Fitzpatrick that we know that can throw.
I think they anticipated.
Exactly,
okay?
exactly.
But against the 49ers, who I know they've had their share of injuries, but they're
good
decent.
defensively. Did you see what they did to the Rams on Sunday night?
Yeah. So at San Francisco, Ryan Fitzpatrick went 22 of 28 for 350 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Had the highest QBR of any quarterback all year, a 99.
Yes.
That's pretty great. And then I know it was just the Jets, but he lit up the Jets.
Lit up the Jets, correct.
Okay, and all of a sudden they've won their last 2 games, 43-17 and 24-0. And I think management's like, oh my God, we got a bye week. Let's just put the kid in there and stop this magic madness.
Yeah,
right?
and that's what happens, Skip. He's like, man, I'm dealing it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just think about it, Skip. You throw for 350 and 3 or 4 touchdowns, and you beat a team 24-0, and they're like, you know what, son, we've seen enough.
Okay.
Your backup's coming in.
Okay, so if you were a veteran in that locker room, I don't think you'd love this.
No.
So next up come the Rams to Miami. Aaron Donald. It won't be easy.
No.
Jalen Ramsey, obviously. And then they go to Arizona, and then the Chargers visit Miami.
Right.
Okay, will Tua have a couple of rough?
Yeah.
Surely will.
Right.
And will it make the veterans happy? No, it will not.
But especially, Skip, if they lose these games and they're close, and they're going to look at it like, man, if we'd had Fitz in there, we'd have won this game.
Yep.
We'd have won these games.
And remember, he was hot down the stretch last year. He beat the Eagles at home, and he beat Brady at Brady.
And Skip, and I think that's the thing that it was, because what normally happens, when he finishes strong, he starts off slow. But you should have known, he's going to go, Fitzpatrick's going to give you an opportunity to get him up out of there, because like he's on this hot streak, he was going to cool off, and that was going to be your opportunity. But they's like, we got an extra week.
Yep. No, we got to stop.
We got to stop it now.
Yep.
So Skip, I'm not surprised that he's shocked, especially as well as he's played.
I'm just shocked he voiced it publicly.
He said that publicly. Okay,
because it really put a lot of pressure on everybody involved.
But Skip, you know, you be thinking something, and they're like, did you just say that? Or like, I said that out loud? I'm sure he was thinking like, they benched me. I'm on a Zoom call. I didn't know it.
Hey, he spilled, man.
He did. He did. Whew. You know, these Zoom, like, people can hear and see you.
I know, you have to remember that always. That's the new reality with Sue. But I appreciate how much he cares. I do appreciate that. Is it only a matter of time, guys, before we see Antonio Brown on the Seahawks? We'll give you the latest details next.